Football Fridays.
Well, we heard from cheerleaders from both the Smet and Elkton Lake Benton. That was a combined team effort. That was
nice
awesome.
to see that many grouped together for that. It's awesome.
Oh, that was good. Hard to believe it, but we are starting the postseason tonight on Football Friday on Thursday. I'm Mark Ovenden, he's Cooper Seamer, and Joseph Lemelin is with us in just a couple of minutes. Coop.
Yeah, well, the bigger schools in 11-man, they finish up their regular season tonight, and for everyone else, it's the first round of the playoffs.
Now, all of tonight's highlights are from South Dakota. Iowa's postseason gets started tomorrow. Minnesota continues on Saturday and started on Tuesday.
Well, we'll get started in 11 AAA, where the top-ranked Brandon Valley Lynx, they hosted number 3 Jefferson, and the Lynx are going to strike right away. Their first offensive play after a turnover. Will Van Loer finding Jack Blomgren. He high and points that ball for a touchdown, and it's 7-0 Brandon Valley. The defenses for both teams are going to lock down. Lynx looking to move the ball again. This drive, though, cut short. Anthony Patron gets the Van Loer for the sack. A few seconds before half, the Cavs are in the red zone. Kaysen Mediger looks to his left, finds Jace Unzen. He's going to get some help from his teammates, carried into the end zone, and Jefferson upsets Brandon Valley with a 24-21 win.
Wow.
What a game.
The number 2 Lincoln Patriots also played number 4 Harrisburg in the second game at Howard Wood. The Tigers would march downfield and strike first. It's going to be the sophomore quarterback, Jonah Young, hitting Bradley Esser, and it's 7-0 in favor of the Tigers. We're just getting warmed up. Brody Schaefer hitting Javon Haukus on the wheel route. He sneaks around for 6, and we're tied up at 7-7. Young then throws a pass a little high. No problem for Josiah Hines, and he will take it to the house. 78 yards for the score. The Tigers are back on top, but Lincoln goes through the air again. Schaefer to his favorite target, or one of them. He's got several. Luis Sacasi. It's tied up at 14, and look at this score. They're in the fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter. Oh, it's now a final. 56-49. Lincoln wins it.
Shootout there. Number 5, O'Gorman was at the MAC against arch rival Roosevelt tonight. First quarter, O'Gorman, it's Isaac Myers with faking the handoff here, and he's going to keep it himself. Fool everyone. He's off to the races. No one will stop him. A 54-yard touchdown run, and that'll give the Knights a 7-0 lead. We'll stick with the same quarter. A few minutes later, the Knights again. Gavin Hamrick will take the snap, and he's able to get outside and reaches in for the end zone. He's ruled just down at the goal line, but Hamrick will get in a couple plays later. 14-0 lead. O'Gorman, your winner tonight, 42-9 over Roosevelt.
Let's check those 11 AAA scores again. Brandon Valley lost, Lincoln won, and there's your O'Gorman score.
Well, it seems like we have major upsets each week in Class 11 AA, although one team has been steady after an early loss to Yankton. That's why the Huron Tigers are ranked number 1. Tonight they were at Dana J. Dykehouse Stadium to take on the Bobcats of Brookings. Fast forward to the fourth quarter. Brookings' Ben Schulte gets the pitch, cuts back inside, and is gone. 49-yard touchdown. Brookings up 15-6. Huron on the option. The pitch is late, but it's going to be to Mason Juergens. Gets around for the score. 15-14. Huron took the lead, but Brookings Bergen Tetzlaff takes the lead back 22-14. Brookings would hold on to that and win 22-14.
Just who wants to win 11 AA this year?
And in the first game at Howard Wood, I don't know what the answer to your question is, too. Number 5, T-Area in 11 AA took on 11 AAA Washington's Warriors. Hunter Sayasavan to Sam Ewing. He was a bright spot today. Actually, it's horrible shooting football when that sun and the shadows are like that. Somehow I got most of it. There's a 67-yard touchdown run. And Jace Woods on the screen to the wide receiver. 2 great moves into the end zone. Washington wins it 27-7, your final. Let's check out your 11 AA scoreboard. Brookings knocks off number 1 Huron. Yankton wins big. So does Pierre. They're getting hot. Spearfish lost, and so did T-Area. Well, can the number 1 team in 11A stay perfect? We'll have highlights next.
Watching Football Friday, sponsored by South Dakota State, South Dakota Department of Health, and Dakota Bank.
Well, welcome back to Football Friday. Mark, Class 11A finished up their regular season tonight, and this is always a fun class.
The Sioux Falls Christian Chargers have been steamrolling whoever shows up to play them. And tonight, it was the Panthers of Dakota Valley that took their turn. Cooper Strandy goes to Brant Wassner. Great catch. Sets up a short touchdown run by Tate Connell. Kim Nelson calling the plays from up in the booth, doing a great job. Connell can play a little defense, too, with a beautiful pick. Kept his feet in bounds, and that would set up this Cooper Strandy to Brant Wassner touchdown pass this time. They're a lethal combination. Watch him battle his way into the end zone. 40-9 was your final. Yes, they are still perfect.
The number 2 and number 3 teams in 11A met head-on tonight as Lennox played at Dell Rapids. Second quarter, Lennox has a 7-0 lead already. Trying to add to that in the fourth down, Jamin Huntington fakes the handoff, keeps it, and he will get into the end zone, and that'll give the Orioles a 14-0 lead. 2 minutes before halftime, though, Dell Rapids gets on the board. Drake Eastman to Carson Pay. Looks like he's in, but he's rolled down at the goal line, but they'll punch in the next play to bring it within 7. But Huntington just all over the field tonight. This time it's a pass to Tate Gertis, wide open for the touchdown. That's 20-7 before halftime, and Lennox wins 34-14.
Let's check our scoreboard here from 11A. Also see that Madison won 26 and West Central also victorious. Joseph?
To Elk Point, where the Huskies of EPJ started their postseason against the Flyers of Flandreau. Pick up first quarter, EPJ up 14-0. Luke Schmitz right up the middle. The senior broke free. No one catches him. He'll dive at the pylon for the score. That makes it 21-0. EPJ rolls through this one, winning 42-14.
Ooh, touchdown pass. They don't do that very often.
Not very often.
They don't have to. Let's go to your scoreboards now. These are playoff scores. EPJ, Clark Willow Lake, St. Thomas More, Wagner all win, along with Dual, Sioux Valley. Watch out for MVP. They are playing great down the stretch. And Winner wins tonight as well. Up next, 9AA playoff highlights from Freeman. Can they stay perfect? That's next. And welcome back. Now it's time for 9-man playoff highlights, starting with 9AA. Coop?
Absolutely. We're going to start at top-ranked Phoenix of Freeman, Marion Freeman Academy. In their final year as a co-op, they're up against Garretson tonight in the first round of the playoffs. First play of the game, it's Garretson looking to try to make a statement early, but this ball is picked off by Tate Kerrigan, and he's going to take it to the house. Freeman goes up 8-0. Their next drive, it's the senior running back, Luke Peters, getting the rock here, and he's going to be able to find the opening, and he's going to take off. 16-0 for the Phoenix, and Marion Freeman Academy goes on to win 59-7. They're moving on to the next round.
All right, Colt Beck and his Elkton Lake Benton Elks moved up to number 2 after that big win at Hamlin last Friday. Tonight, the second season started with the Smet in town. We saw the cheerleaders from both teams, while the cheerleaders from the home team had the most to cheer about. Colt Beck with a touchdown from 12 yards out. Next possession, it's going to be Beck on the quarterback sweep. Gets around the corner, 34 yards later. He is into the end zone for another touchdown. And then in the second quarter on the pitch, Elliot Erickson makes it 21-0. It was all Elks tonight. 7 times 7 is 49. 49-0 was your final score there. Joseph?
Well, what was expected to be one of the best playoff matchups of the night was played in Hurley, where the Cougars hosted the talented Beavers of Hanson. Hanson's first drive tipped around. Carter Endorf passes it off to his teammate Jason Porth. Beavers up a touchdown. Start of the second quarter, 14-8 Hanson. Carson camps off another tip pass. This time it's an interception. Beavers rolling in Hurley. Porth had multiple touchdown catches, but he was also good on the defensive end. He sets up for an interception here. Hanson goes on to win in Hurley 52-34.
A shootout, but they were in control the whole game.
Yes.
All right, these are playoff scores again in 9AA. Freeman Academy wins big. Parkston does too. They're playing great down the stretch. There's your Elkton Lake Benton score. Hamlin 57-0. Hill City with a shutout. There's your Hanson win. Kimball White Lake in a defensive game, and Bonham all won. Well, you know what? Centerville was at Howard. I thought this was the best matchup on paper in Class 9A. We'll find out what it was on the field when we come back.
Welcome back, and now it's time for the rest of the 9-man highlights. We'll stay in 9A here where the number 5 Howard Tigers hosted Alec Austin and his high-flying Tornadoes of Centerville. We'll jump ahead. The Tigers are already up 6-0. They recovered an onside kick, and Owen Feldhaus is going to take the outside run. Big pop, but he's into the end zone. The Tornadoes would regroup, and they would respond. 4th and goal for them, trying to get some points on the board. Alec Austin is going to find a wide-open Hogan Hybertson, and he's in for the touchdown. Centerville not going anywhere. They're back within 1 score, but Howard proved too tough to stop tonight. Here's Colt Becker muscling his way into the end zone, and Howard is moving on with the 52-32 win over Centerville.
Yeah, you got a ground team against an air team, and the ground team won tonight. The Castlewood Warriors brought an impressive 7-1 record into postseason play tonight against the Tigers of Dupree. Beautiful sunset there in Castlewood, and it was a beautiful night if you're a Castlewood fan. Camden Kessler says, let's get it started. Weaves his way through the defense for a touchdown, makes it 8-0. This time, Kessler goes the other way, around left end, and cuts it up the middle for another touchdown. That made it 16-0. And you know what? They can throw the ball, too. Leonard Wernke with the catch from Kessler, and he is a big target, and he is gone. Number 8 for a long touchdown, and Castlewood would dominate this game tonight. Your final score was 46-12 Warriors as we check out the scoreboard in 9A. These are all playoff scores now. Wall wins 55-zip. Alcester Hudson over Dubrook. Warner 42-12, and Ipswich is a team, I've been watching them all year.
They've been good.
They've been really good, and they win big tonight. Also in 9A, there's your Howard score, there's your Castlewood score. Phillip wins by 28, and Platt get us 42-20. We're down to 9B. Joseph, what do you got there?
Well, in 9B, the Cardinals of Del Rapids St. Mary's brought a perfect record to the postseason against Irene Wakanda today. Cards ready to send it away after going up 8-0. Nope, they're going to take it right back. Jacob Garrett's all over it, keeping it on the ground, but for the offense, it's Lincoln LeBrun. He scored the first touchdown of the game, and this big run set up their second. 16-0, less than 2 minutes in, and Tremere Hanson having a day at quarterback. He'd also take this punt return back. Del Rapids St. Mary's winning 72-6.
Yeah, Tremere is one of the premier players in the state. He is so shifty and hard to bring down. Great. They've got 2 star players on that team with Hanson and LeBrun. All right, and finally, the Eagles of Sioux Falls Lutheran made the playoffs in just their 2nd season of football. And 3 Overland grandsons are on this team, which made this even better. Rowan Becker with the touchdown run makes it 6-0 in favor of the Eagles. They were just getting started against Iroquois Lake Preston. This is Marion Garcia. 57 yards to the house, puts him up 14-0. Nice move there. I think he had 3 touchdowns in the game tonight. And then Becker would throw the ball to Abbott Moeller. He makes nice moves down the sideline. They're going to have to play Avon next week, but you know what? They're going to just relish in the fact that they got their first school playoff victory tonight, 48-6. Let's check out your 9B scores. There's your Del Rapids St. Mary score again. Avon 50-0. Harriet Selby area 22-zip. Sully Buttes win 42-8. Falkton 61-22. Coleman Egan's 50-zip. Sioux Falls Lutheran. And Corsica Stickney wins a shootout at Kadoka. Wow, what a crazy score that was. And here's some of your playoff games coming up tomorrow night in Iowa. Watch out for West Lyon. And hey, West Sioux having a great year as well. Nice job, guys. Enjoy